All right, everybody, and welcome to the very first video of my rebooted channel, From Delusion to Truth. I finally got a setup where I can talk like a normal YouTuber instead of doing voiceovers and stuff. Not that voiceovers are a problem, but, I really wanted to do some, traditional YouTube videos and have a sort of traditional YouTube channel at the same time. So I'm relaunching this channel again, but this is it. This will be it. Because I've worked on some other channels and I got those where I want them. So now I can focus on this now. So fundamentally, some of you that are subscribed here might remember me from a few years ago with the whole Pizzagate thing. That's not going to be the focus of the channel anymore, and certainly not, we're really not going to be talking about like conspiracy related stuff or even like news and politics and stuff like that. There's enough of those type of channels out there and enough people covering all that. And I think we're in a pretty good place if you guys are, if you were following that stuff happening under the surface in our world, the Great Awakening, all that stuff. I'm sure you're feeling like we're sort of headed in the right direction, right? So I kind of want to change things up a little bit and talk more about truth as it relates to spirituality, metaphysics, you as a human being and as a spiritual being, and occult knowledge and religion and all that type of stuff. Obviously, as you know, the occult knowledge does tie into some of the stuff going on in the world, a lot of the stuff going on in the world. So I want to focus more on that stuff, both the light and the dark. We'll talk a little bit about the dark stuff, but mostly the light. It's basically knowledge and tools for you to understand what's going on in the world, understanding yourself a little bit more, and how to kind of find your way in the journey of life, so to speak. So since this is the first video of this sort of rebooted channel, I wanted to just kind of go ahead and reintroduce myself a little bit, or introduce myself to anybody who's here for the first time, or anybody who's going to be watching this for the first time. To be honest with you, there's a part of me that I was hesitant to talk about spiritual and religious stuff because, although it's a big passion of mine, I got to the point where I didn't, I kind of wanted to be a little bit more normal, right? Like I just didn't want to seem like one of those kooks, you know what I mean? Like one of those spiritual religious guys that's talking about, I don't know, man. I didn't want to do that. But I do have a spiritual life. I do have spiritual practice. It is very important to me personally. And to be completely honest with you, I really did get like some inspiration to continue this channel and to talk about the stuff that I feel inspired to talk about. So that's what we're going to do. This is going to be a regular channel now. You'll see videos all the time. I've got all kinds of stuff planned, and I'm really excited about it. I'm really excited what I've been able to put together here. One of the reasons I was hesitant to talk about this stuff or be like a spiritual type of a person on YouTube or anything is a lot of those people, it's just, to me, it always comes across as so lame, when people are, right, like knocking on your door and handing you a pamphlet. Like, I don't want to be one of those people. I really don't. And I'm not any kind of like master spiritual person or like any kind of, but I guess I could share my journey with YouTube and the world. And if you get something out of it, you do. If you don't, you don't. But I do feel that there's so much confusion, right, around religion and spirituality as a whole, and metaphysics and what and who we really are in this world. And there's definitely been a lot of, manipulation in religions and stuff like that. So I really do feel compelled to sort of help unwind all that stuff, because that's what I did for me. Like, I wanted to do that for my own self, right, because religion was so confusing and I wanted to know the truth. And I took my own journey and I found what I wanted to find. But now the Spirit's like, why don't you share some of that? And I'm like, I don't want to, because I don't want to be, that's not what I did that for. I don't want to be one of those pastors on TV. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be anything like that. I don't want to seem like some guy with a cult. I really wanted to keep spirituality like just for me. And I don't really even want to talk about it anymore, even with people. Because, it's like, to me, spirituality is very personal, and I'm not interested in changing people's minds or trying to get them to convert to one thing or another. I just really want to make clear the truth of what's going on in spirituality and share my journey with you. So that's what we're going to be doing here. This is the first video in this sort of relaunched channel here. And so we'll have videos like this where it's just talking, and I also still do have some of you might remember the What is the Matrix series. I took that down, and I'm in the process of like refining it a little bit, and I came up with a new name for it besides What is the Matrix. It's called Arcathia, and I'll be talking more about that, what it is, as we go on here, and you'll see those videos drop here and there. Some of you also remember I had something called the Whole Life Solution that was supposed to be separate, but because it's sort of like a spiritual personal development system, I decided to incorporate the Whole Life Solution with From Delusion to Truth as a site and channel. And so I'm going to be releasing the Whole Life Solution just on the From Delusion to Truth channel as they come out. So we got a lot of stuff to talk about, a lot of stuff to cover, a lot of stuff to share. If you're into spirituality and metaphysics and stuff like that, you're in the right place. And I think that's probably a good place to stop it for this episode. I'm happy to have you guys here, and I'll see you in the next episode. Take care.